Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm one of your hosts, Austin Dawson,
And I'm Nikki Winjet.
and we are really excited to be here together
Yes.
in person. It's so exciting. We have been planning on making these changes, and it's so much better for us and just for the podcast in general. So we are excited to be coming at you together.
Yes.
Under the same roof.
Thank you for your patience too, because life's been
Yeah.
lifing as well.
It has.
So we've been trying to get together and get in person and, start this podcast.
Yeah, so today you will be getting to know us.
Yeah.
We are going to be interviewing each other, and we kind of get to dive into our own gifts and experiences. And maybe whoever's listening, you won't feel as crazy or not completely alone with that. So let's dive right in.
Okay.
Nikki, what are your gifts?
I have many gifts, but my main gift would be I'm a seer, so that means I am psychic. Um, I get messages, downloads, all the time. And another one of my gifts would be I can communicate with people that have passed on, but usually it has to do with like my family. I've dealt with a lot of death in my life, so the people that have passed over send me signs and stuff all the time, and I even have to ask them, like, okay, is this who I think it is? And, they'll show me a sign that has like their name on it, like clear as day.
Oh, wow.
It's so cool. So that's another thing that I was going to say I can do, but another gift that I have.
Yeah.
What else? Energy. I can feel energy.
Mm-hmm.
I can usually tell if somebody's wrong, feeling out of place. I was going to say somebody's wrong.
I know what you mean, though. Could you do that with me? You'll be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I know
Yeah.
you know. Leave me alone."
Yeah. I don't know. I like can read cognition, but it's
Mhm.
deeper than that. Just like looking at somebody's body language, it's kind of just like I feel it. I can feel it. Um, and then let's see. Another one of my gifts would be, well, still has to do with like being psychic, but I like, they say that scent is very powerful when it comes to spirit.
Yeah.
So that's usually how I can tell when somebody's around, of like that's my family. I can smell them. It's like a specific scent. Like my dad, his hair and the oils in his hair. When he's around, I could smell him. And then the other night, I smelled my brother. Like, it's weird, but it was a mixture between like the body wash he used, or like when he brushed his teeth, and like his breath when he would talk to me. So scent, um, sounds. I can interpret like numerology and numbers, and I can really break things down and see the correlation in everything. Like, it's very, very interesting. It's very fun.
That's cool. It sounds very detailed. Like you can use all of that detail to kind of navigate your day, your week,
Yeah.
your month, your year.
Yeah. And sometimes I shut it off too, though. Sometimes I'm just like, not today.
I get that. Boundaries are important for your own.
They are.
For your own sanity.
They are.
For sure. Well, so that leads me to my next question. Have you ever had spirit try and communicate with you in a way that was just really fucking awkward? Like
Oh, I'm sure. Let's see. That's a really good question. Really fucking awkward.
Or maybe at an awkward time.
Oh, it's always an awkward time. It's always awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be at the store and I'm like looking at something, and all of a sudden, like, spirit shows me something, or like just bam, something in my, I hear something, and my face will be like, what the fuck? Or, people probably think I'm crazy in stores, because sometimes I'm just walking around and I'm like, or I'll be like, no, like I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
Like, how like you're at gas stations and people are talking to themselves and stuff. I probably look like that. So that's really fucking awkward, or
Why do I've seen you do that before,
Oh,
though.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen you just be like,
Yeah.
so
Dude, especially if it's something bizarre.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the? I'm like, no. Like, out loud.
That is hilarious.
I think that's probably the most awkward time. It's all the time. There's
Yeah.
all the time.
It's like spirit, like don't drop something crazy on me right now while I'm trying to grocery shop.
Right? For real. They're like, like, oh, get this lady right here. You know, I'm like, come on, man.
That's
Like, come
hilarious.
on.
I'm not crazy, I promise.
Right?
Maybe a little bit, I don't know.
If you say you're not crazy, you're crazy, right?
Yeah, we're all a little bit crazy.
Just a little bit.
Even you listening now, whoever you are,
Right?
you're crazy.
You're crazy to even listen to us.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So, what would be like your go-to ritual when you need to cleanse your energy after, honestly, just maybe after a rough day, after you've done a reading that was just kind of weird or messy?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Do you like go to the bar? Do you meditate? Like, what's your thing?
So back in the day, I probably would have definitely been like, I'm going to the bar.
Yeah.
Now the bar would probably be at my house, have a glass of wine. But no, usually I'll. So if I'm doing readings, after I do each reading, usually I like to have my selenite with me, or like Florida water. I put it into like a spray bottle,
Okay.
or I like to make intention sprays. So I'll use that. Scent helps me clear the energy, helps me refocus, recenter. And then also incense. I love incense. And then if I'm like, say, like when I used to work inside the shop all the time, I'd come home, I would take a bath, like a bath with salt, so Epsom salt, because that'll help clear out your energy field, your aura, your auric field. And I put essential oils in there to help relax me.
Yeah.
And sage all the time. But I've noticed now, like I can't always use white sage. White sage like brings up stuff for me, so it like stirs the energy.
Interesting.
My cat's acting crazy.
Cat.
He's a black cat too. He doesn't even act like this ever. So
that's hilarious.
But yeah. So white sage for me, it like stirs everything up. So if I use white sage, I have to have an incense or Palo Santo to like to transmute all the energy that's stirred.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then I like candles. Candles kind of like, I don't know, clear the air for me. And face masks and stuff, like self-care.
Yeah, that's so important too.
Yeah.
Self-care. Everything you listed was really self-care. I relate to that a lot as well. Scents and candles, they're magical.
Yeah. One thing I just learned lately is lime. Lime is great. Like actual lime is great for clearing energy. Somebody like a great friend taught me this actually like 6 months ago, and he tried to tell me and warn me of like everything that's been kind of going on. He's like, you need to take a lime bath. Okay, so I did that the other night. Basically, you cut a lime up, like one lime. You could use more. You get in the bathtub. You're basically squeezing the lime juice all over you, rubbing the lime on your skin, like washing your body with the lime.
Yeah.
Washing your hair with the lime. You don't rinse it off. You don't use anything else. Well, you do rinse it off, but you don't like
wash it off after or anything.
No. So then you put them in the bathtub. You can put some like salt in there. After you're done with your bath, you get out. You let the water drain, and you leave everything how it is for 30 minutes. And then you come back and then you clean it. So by doing that, oh my gosh, I felt amazing. But the way that my body is with like all the healing work and all the energy work I do, everybody's like burdens or stress or my stress and my burdens get stored in my neck and my shoulders and in my shoulder blades. So when I was washing the lime all over my body, that side, like the left side where I usually feel it the most, was burning, like inside, like in the muscle, which is so weird. It was like tingling and burning. But it completely, like if I read to you what exactly it does, you'd be like, what? Oh my gosh. So that's why when I saw you yesterday and I was like, all these things happened, I did the night before. It cleared everything. It clears anybody who's sending like ill intention towards you or bad energy, bad vibes, clears that. It clears financial hardship. It yeah, I mean like every single thing that I was going through, stagnant energy, it gets rid of. So then woke up yesterday and was
Wow.
blessed
Yeah.
like time after time after time, and I was like, oh my goodness.
That's
So I'm going
wild.
to be using lime all the time.
Yeah.
You should
Well,
try
I have to go grocery shopping later, so let me buy
I'm
some
serious.
limes.
I'm about to stock up on limes. I'm not even kidding.
That is so cool. And I
I'm
love
not
lime
kidding.
anyways, but that's very interesting.
And
I've
then
never heard of
drinking it
that.
too, and it's like probably one of the best things we could use as like intuitives and healers and psychics.
That's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know. That's really
Yeah.
neat. Well, I paused. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
So, what's the craziest thing you've done in the name of like spiritual enlightenment? Um, did you ever find yourself making any questionable decisions? Did you do something like super crazy, like going skydiving?
I want to go skydiving. I haven't done that yet.
It's very cool. I went once
Really? I don't know
before.
if I don't know if I really could do it,
It
honestly.
it was, I don't even know what possessed me, honestly, because I'm terrified of heights, but it is a very, very euphoric experience.
Really?
I will definitely say.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
think I would just like throw up all over myself getting up. Like I love
I wanted
airplanes,
to.
but and I don't even get to I don't even get to make the jump. Somebody else makes it for me.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
that's really kind of like.
Luckily, there was a hot guy strapped to my back, and he was like, "You're okay," and I was like,
I'd be
"Okay,
like,
Daddy, I feel safe."
yes, that
But
would have to be
yeah.
me. I would be like, like I can see it now.
Yeah.
I know now we're talking about skydiving, but I wanted to go skydiving. Like when my father passed, that first year was really rough for me. So on his memorial date, I wanted to go skydiving, but I didn't get to. And now thinking about it, I'm like, I kind of like it on the ground.
I get it. I probably will never go skydiving again, but
Yeah,
I'm glad I did it at least one time.
that's cool that you did that though. And I'm a Libra, so I don't know. I'm like, I want to do it, and then I'm like, oh, maybe not. But I'm like, but you only live once, really.
You only live
This life
once.
once. So
Just
anyway,
don't go where I went because apparently a lot of people have died there doing
see,
it.
I can't.
Just do some research. I didn't do any research. My dad, it was with my dad. That's interesting. Yeah, because he messaged me one day and was like, "Will you go skydiving with me?" And my brothers didn't do it.
Yeah.
I did. But anyways, so
That's cool. And side note, like nobody really knows the story of my father. I'm talking like everybody knows. My dad was a paratrooper in the Korean War, so he used to jump out of airplanes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, yep.
Wow.
So that's why I was like, oh, in honor of him, I'll do that. But I'm kind of too like chicken shit to do that. So
I totally understand.
He's like, I'm gonna tear this shit down.
I'm done.
Okay, so we got sidetracked. So that question was,
yeah. So in the name of spiritual enlightenment, what are some things that you have? What's the craziest thing you've done? Yeah.
Okay.
So you're like, I'm going to go on this journey, but I'm diving right in. I'm gonna do whatever this looks like.
Okay, so I'm gonna say like there's a few things in the beginning when I first went through like my spiritual awakening, my very first one. I was kind of like stuck in like psychosis.
Okay.
So it was kind of like I was so connected to spirit and I didn't know how to ground myself. So it was kind of like I was just listening to spirit all the time. So it was kind of like it was dangerous when I was driving because I could tune out and just not even be there. Like not even like, aware of my surroundings. Kitty cat tail.
You said it. You called it before.
Look at you.
Oh.
You're so cute, Kodak. But yeah, I mean, like, I thought it was so cool at first, but then I'm gonna tear shit down. What's your coffee? He might.
There's nothing in there.
Okay. Yeah. So like when I was driving, I would just be out of it because I would be interpreting all these different signs on the road. That's how I get a lot of my messages and reading them different. I'm like, oh, so I'm kind of just following spirit. But in the beginning, you don't know who spirit is.
Right.
So you don't know if you're following an entity or, so
who am I talking to? Where am I getting this information from?
Yeah. So that was kind of like really crazy. I eventually learned how to ground myself. And then now I listen to spirit basically all the time. There's times where I will be like, no, I'm not ready. Even though I'm like, and spirit will even literally be like, just do it. Like you're prolonging your
Yeah.
growth. just do it. But I will literally tell spirit, I'll be like, nah, not today.
I
Or be like, oh,
totally
you're
feel
funny.
that.
But now I live my life, for the most part, I listen to spirit. If
Mhm.
I get an inkling or a message of anything, I follow it. So I never thought I'd live like that.
Yeah.
I used to be trying to control everything. So now I don't really control much.
That's the best place to be, especially doing like intuitive work too,
Yeah.
because surrendering is so
Yeah.
important. And I've struggled with that too. It's just like, no, I don't want to.
Yep.
Like, I was so nervous about, even I get anxiety doing readings still
Yeah.
sometimes. And I had these two mediumship readings,
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and I was almost canceled.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you have to push through. You have to honor what you're already feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to go into it like with nerves, go into it, but I'm also going into it surrendering.
Yeah. And
And,
it's so funny that you say that because this morning I was thinking about that because fair's coming up
mm-hmm.
and I'm
Oh,
supposed to
yeah.
be in the fair all weekend. And I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm like making excuses already. I'm like, oh,
No.
do I really want to do this? Oh, 2 days.
Mm,
Oh, what if a lot of people want readings? You just start breaking yourself down
right.
and you have to surrender, like you said.
Yeah.
So, but I get
And you will do
nervous.
great. I get nervous too.
So nervous, dude.
And for those of you listening, we're talking. We both actually do readings in a psychic fair at a local shop in Atlanta. Shout out Heart, Soul, and Art.
Woo woo.
um,
Best shop you can possibly go to, honestly. It is life changing.
yes,
Just gonna say that. It's a
great
staple.
energy, great people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get that way too. And I was even like that the last fair, and I was just like, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And when they start coming, the readings after your first one and your second one, then you really will be good.
Yeah.
And I'll be there on Sunday.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I have
That'll
a
be
dinner to go to on
that.
Sunday.
I'll feel better about that because I
Yeah.
was like, ooh, I might have to tell them I only one day, but
And you
no,
can if you want to.
no,
That's
I
up
need
to
to just
you.
go and do it
Yeah.
because I
But
I do it anyways outside of work, like
mhm.
for free, pretty much with friends and like family, and it's like, girl, you could be getting paid for this, so
Yes.
go ahead and get your money. You
Get
need
your
it,
money. Exactly. And
you know.
people want to see you and want to
Yeah.
pay you for your time. So
Yeah.
but let's see. I totally understand that though. Um So to maybe bring it to like a serious question,
hmm
what advice would you give someone who is just starting their spiritual journey?
Um, I think the advice I would give somebody is to take your time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to rush through it. Once you start that journey, you are always it's going to be a lifelong thing. It's not like, okay, I'm going to learn this and then I'm a master. You have to surrender and just go along, for the ride.
Yeah.
Don't like give yourself grace and don't be hard on yourself because you might meet somebody else that is they're at a different point in their life, and they're further in their journey than you
Mm-hmm.
are. Everybody's journey
Right.
is different. Everybody's lessons are going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Just relax, give yourself grace,
Yeah.
take your time, and enjoy it because it's a beautiful relationship too with spirit.
That's the best advice, probably. Honestly, anyone could hear because again I feel like so many people compare themselves, especially with like social media now, to
Yeah.
like this person's journey or the way that their gifts look or
Mhm.
what their exact belief system compared to
Mhm.
theirs, and it's like no.
You'll figure out your
Yeah.
own way of doing things and
Hmm.
receiving messages, and you'll basically build your own toolbox. And it'll be
Yeah,
personalized to you.
I love that. That's really good advice. I wish I would have had someone tell
Me
me that in
too.
the beginning.
Me too. Are you serious? I would have. I mean, come on.
Like what the
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. It would have saved me a lot of like stress and time and just energy and just it's hard. It's
fuck?
hard. It's hard when you're going through that journey too. You
Definitely,
know.
especially if you're alone.
And yeah, and then you try to talk to somebody about it, and they just kind of look at you like you're freaking losing your mind.
Like,
Like, is this
what are
bitch
you talking
serious right
about?
now? She's
Right.
lost her fucking marbles.
until you start calling out their bullshit, and they're like,
right,
"Where are you getting this from?"
right.
And you're like,
And then they start looking at you like, "Are you a witch?"
"Oh yeah,
Maybe.
definitely. Maybe we are witches." Hmm. Well, this leads me to
Stupid.
my last question for you.
Okay.
Um, so, talking about readings and you doing readings outside of professional spaces
Mhm.
and businesses and for your own business,
Mhm.
what is the most scandalous reading you've ever done? I'm
Mm.
curious, did it involve like a secret like affair? Was there a love triangle? Like
Mm.
what like popped out?
Oh gosh.
And obviously we're not naming
No,
names,
we will
but
never name names, but so it's very interesting. Sometimes I am reading people. I'm not trying to read people.
oh
It's like
yeah.
information that just comes,
Mm,
and they're not like asking for it.
yeah.
So I've never really been in given a reading where, well, actually I lied. There was one. There was one,
Ooh.
and we're talking about scandalous stuff. You hit the
Yes, and you're getting it here first, people.
yeah, yeah. So there was one reading I did, and she was kind of wondering what was going on within her relationship and stuff like that. And
Mm.
I was, and the cards I was pulling and everything, and I'm just like, I was like, is there more than just like one person in your life? And basically, they were just like, and
Mm.
this is really not that scandalous, but they weren't monogamous. They were poly,
Oh, okay.
which is
Okay.
fine, cool. If it works for you, it works for you.
Right.
But she was like a little embarrassed by it. She was
Oh,
like,
okay.
that I kind of said that.
Mm.
But all the cards were all like sacral cards too, and like that sexual and sensual
Oh.
energy and that like pleasure and da 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 da. And I was just like,
Yeah.
mm. And I was like, "Are y'all going?" I was like, "I see music in the future," and they're like, "Yeah, we're supposed to go to a concert tonight." And I'm like, "Well, go and enjoy yourself.
Mm.
Like feel things out." They were just kind of nervous about bringing another person in, and like the
Mm.
attention being divided and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, I see nothing but good times here,
Yeah.
having fun. But
Wow.
the other thing that I thought of firsthand, first of all, he's like, I like you guys. I'm gonna chill. He's so interesting. Sometimes
Oh.
he's like, I want to sit here, but you only pet me when I freaking say it.
Cats are literally like that, I swear.
I am too,
I
though.
love them though. Me too. Don't touch me
Don't
unless I
touch
want to be
me.
touched.
But there was one time I was around a group of friends, and basically, I guess what is this like telekinesis when you can is telekinesis moving stuff?
With your mind,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, then not that when you
Telepathic communication?
telepathic
Okay,
telekinesis.
gotcha. We're still
Um,
moving things.
I'm not interested in that unless I can move the ATM into my house.
Let me just pull money
Yeah,
into the
right.
account.
Just
That would be amazing.
so basically I kind of read the whole situation and that like my friends were basically just involved with each other. I was the only one that wasn't,
Oh, interesting.
right? And I'm
Okay.
and I just started calling out. I'm like, so and so's looking at you like this. Why are they looking at you like that? And why is this person looking at you like this? And why is this person getting mad at this? And everybody was just like, hmm. I'm like, y'all can just tell me already, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I was the odd one out. Like, no
Knowing
invite or
you.
anything. I wasn't interested, but and I'm married.
Yeah, but still, it's like, y'all don't want me?
Right? Like, no, but oh, I'm not even. We're not gonna go to explicit right now because I was about to say they say some stuff, and I'm like, okay, so I'm the center around there, if you know what
Oh,
I'm saying.
yeah.
So, because of an asset.
Oh,
So,
makes things interesting.
but it is. Especially when like I always know when people are lying to me when I'm talking to them
Yeah.
too,
Hmm.
and to the point where like they'll say something, and then in spirit or whatever is like that's fucking bullshit in my ear randomly, and I'm like, damn, like because that wasn't even my thought. It was not even my freaking thought. And then the
It's
next thing that comes out
hilarious.
of their mouth is like, actually, no, I lied. Like,
Wow.
or they start like going inward, and you can see
Hmm.
they're like shifting.
Yeah.
But that's one of the funnest things. Is like when Spirit's like, "That's fucking bullshit." Like, no,
Damn.
straight up. And I'm like,
I mean, how can you not react to that when it's like instant?
yeah, it's like
It's
right,
bullshit.
straight up. Like, they're fucking lying. What a liar. I'm like, what the? I'm like, who is that in my ear? You know.
But I mean, that is how that works. Though.
It is.
That's so interesting.
It is. So like, I remember, I thought for a while, I was like, am I schizophrenic or something? Like, who's talking to me?
Gosh.
And that's a whole nother thing. Sometimes people that are very connected get looked at like they're schizophrenic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have a theory. This has. I'm so sorry. I'm going into this instead of answering questions.
Bring it up.
I have a theory that people that are schizophrenic actually are very tapped in. Very, 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 very tapped in. And they're on a very thin line between light and dark. You know, it's like they obviously I feel like people that are schizophrenic, their auric field, they might not know how to protect themselves. So they are basically an open vessel.
Well, you know, I love that you're bringing this up because I feel like I can believe that too. Because it's the same thing with like people who are patients in mental facilities and all the paranormal things that happen in those facilities and within the patients there.
Yeah.
That is so interesting to me, and it's like, what's the why behind that? Why are there so many of these things happening?
Yeah.
And
we should do an episode on this.
I know.
We really should.
We need to go, okay, if y'all want to see us go visit like an old
I'm down.
Like what would it be?
Mental
Psych ward something?
I'm so down.
We will go. I'm down to do that.
I've always wanted to do that.
Me too, actually. And just see what happens.
I went to an old tuberculosis hospital when I lived in Florida. We couldn't get inside of it, but we were around it, and like I'm so intrigued by stuff like that, and that's that's the spirit in us.
That is, it really is.
We like morbid stuff too.
Why is that? But I do too. Know. Yeah, I'm so interested, and it pulls me too. It pulls me in. It's like, and maybe that's a part of our gifts of being pulled in. Yeah. To, I don't know. Maybe we were supposed to help in some way. Who knows?
It's true.
But yeah, it's very interesting. So I don't know. I just got excited about the thought of that.
Can I tell a story really, really fast?
Yeah.
So I went to a Catholic church the other day. Like, first time I've ever been to a Catholic church. Actually, I think I've been once when I was younger. Spirit was like, "No, you've been to a Catholic church," and I was like, "I don't want to be a liar." So let me go. That's hilarious. See, this is my life. So I went to a Catholic church. Might have not been the first time, and it has a scent of like the funeral home. Do you have a distinct smell of what funeral homes smell like?
Yeah, for me, I do.
Okay, so do I. So maybe that's a
scents are a big thing for me too, though. So I definitely.
Yep. So like we get into this Catholic church, and first thing I notice is the smell, which smells like a straight funeral home. So then I'm looking around, because sometimes especially having had so many people in my life pass away, like close people, over like 15 people that I actually had very deep relationships with, family, friends, ex-boyfriends, best friends, all deceased. And so I've been to a lot of funerals. So like I have to look around because it kind of triggers you a little bit. Yeah. You know? So absolutely. Like you gotta look around to like, okay, ground yourself. And I did. I didn't react in like sadness or anything. I was like able to, be fine. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. So then I'm walking around and I find this pamphlet about like the rosary. I have rosaries in my house that I've found in houses that I've cleaned before back in the day, and that'd be like the only thing in the house, so I kept them.
So interesting.
Yeah. So I have some type of connection with the Catholic Church. I think it has to do with past life, I'm assuming. And it's weird because I dressed as a nun like for Halloween recently, and I was like, putting that nun outfit on, I fucking loved it. Okay.
Did you feel like you felt that connection?
I did feel that connection, even though I was like a skanky nun. I still
Yeah,
felt
that's okay.
that connection. And I mean, I don't know. There's a deep
Mm.
connection with the Catholic Church in me.
You should get. Have you ever had like a past life
I
regression
haven't.
done?
I
You should
haven't.
do
I
that.
want to.
That
And
would be
even
really
talking about it like
cool.
excites me. Like
Yeah.
my spirit or my soul. It gets like set on fire
Ooh,
almost.
yeah.
And like exorcisms, like just since like the Catholic Church is the only place that does exorcisms, and that
But,
intrigues me too. Why
mhm.
does that intrigue me?
I'm not. So I totally understand that. I used to have dreams all the time of me performing exorcisms on people at a
Really?
young age too.
Yeah.
So I would be like
Huh.
my cousins that I don't even talk to. I would be for one dream I was like in her house and her husband.
Hmm.
And I was like I was praying over them and like this she was screaming and like a black shadow came out of her and this light came out. But come to find out later, sorry, I'm saying this.
No, say
Come to
it.
find out later, her own sister was sleeping with her husband and they
Oh.
had all this weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so it was just interesting for the
Yeah.
time. I didn't know,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know. So, but I relate with that for sure. It's
It's
very
so
interesting.
so interesting. So like I still have the pamphlet. I picked up the pamphlet that like tells you how to pray with the rosary beads because I'm like
Oh,
I have these
cool.
beads, I don't know how to use them.
Yeah.
Not saying I will pray to them, but I want to be knowledgeable if I have something in my home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't just keep items just be like, "Oh, that's cool." If
Hmm.
I get something that was somebody else's and I know has some type of significance, I want to understand it just out of respect.
Right.
So I'm reading it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, when I'm reading the like how the Catholic Church words things and spirit and light, like there's a connection.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it, and like
Interesting.
I've tried to read the Bible, I've tried to read the Bible before.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I don't have a connection with that, which is very
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
Not saying the Bible's wrong or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah. Just what doesn't resonate
It
with
just
you.
doesn't resonate with
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I read any type of anything type of material that is written by like the Catholic Church, I understand it fully.
Hmm.
Like I'm gonna show it to you later. You're gonna
Yeah.
read it and you're gonna be like, huh, interesting.
That's very cool.
But
You
the Catholic
know,
Church actually talk about spirit all the time, actual spirit. So
interesting.
yeah,
And not just like God. They were
yeah,
saying spirit.
spirit. Hmm.
Interesting. That's very
It's a
cool. Yeah, you'll
whole
have to show
yeah,
that to me.
yeah. But that's not even the. I
Wow.
got sidetracked. The whole experience was really really cool to me.
Yeah.
And so when we leave, I took a big whiff of that smell again.
Hmm.
And that smell like calmed me. It was like it felt like home
Oh.
to me, which is really weird.
Yeah.
That, funeral, that smell,
Hmm.
and then I feel like at peace at home. But I don't know. I forget
That's
like my point of all
cool.
of it. But the whole thing was like it was just such a cool experience for me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back to the church. I'm gonna go and
Hmm.
sit in mass one day.
You
I
should.
just want to go and like just be in the energy and see how it is.
Yeah.
So
Experience that.
experience it.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Wow. You'll have to let me know when you do that, how that
Yeah.
happens, like how it works and how you feel afterwards and
Yeah.
during.
I've always liked the imagery in the Catholic Church too. Like
Yeah.
of Mary and like the stained glass and like the
I
cathedrals and
love
like
stained glass.
I'm like obsessed.
Hmm.
And when I talk about these things, like literally I've like it's like my soul's like, oh yes.
Well,
you
there's
know?
beauty in cathedrals and the stained glass, and
Yeah.
there is whatever your beliefs are. I definitely believe there's power in the church. There's power
Definitely.
behind all different belief systems, but you can
Yeah.
feel it.
Mhm.
Definitely, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And just like I don't follow a religion,
Mm,
I am spiritual, but I see the patterns or the I see how everything aligns with all the different religions.
yeah,
It's all
yeah.
parallel. It's different perspectives, I believe.
I agree. I
But
agree.
this baseline story is very similar. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
so
I'm glad that you shared that story. That's very cool. Yeah. Well, if you guys listening want to hear more stories like that, and again, if you want to see us in an old psych ward, let
gonna
us
find
know. Yeah, I think I know of a few here
Yeah.
in Georgia. Yeah,
I'm down.
definitely.
We're
can
gonna
totally
record
make
it
that
and
happen.
everything.
Yes.
Everything. I'm gonna get some little like paranormal like, you know.
Yes. Oh, that would be so much fun.
Timu.
And like literally our
I'm gonna
what we're
spirit
gonna
box
feel.
too.
I've always wanted one of those. But,
Yeah, and then how we're gonna feel. Oh, I want to go. We gotta do it.
yeah, that's the biggest thing for
We
me.
gotta
Like,
do
how are
it.
we gonna feel? And are we picking up on the same thing? That would be very cool because I think we would.
Yeah.
But yeah, you all of you can email us at we're psychic podcast. Fuck is spelled with an X. FXCK, just so all of you know. And I think the last episode I said fuck we're psychic
The podcast, and that's my fault. So you know
like,
what's funny?
Oh, no.
I made 2 emails.
Oh, you did?
I did. So
okay.
we do have one that has the podcast as well.
Oh.
I was like, I didn't even tell
okay.
you I messed up. I was like, damn it.
Oh,
Damn
well,
it,
see, we were on the same frequency.
We have 2.
So.
We have 2 emails now.
Cool. Well, if you emailed us on the old one, we'll check that.
Yes.
But yeah, let us know what you think. If you have any questions for Nikki and her journey, and just want some questions answered about your own journey, send us an email.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and follow us on Instagram,
Facebook,
TikTok,
Spotify, Amazon Music,
Apple. We're everywhere.
We're
legit now, y'all.
We're legit now. It was a little rough start. But I'm liking this. Here. I'm liking the feel, I'm liking the vibe, and we're able to like connect. You know,
it's so much.
It's authentic, and it's just you're not watching a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, it felt so confined, but
it did. I mean, even the cats, like
I know, just chilling beside us. I love it. Okay, well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Next week, we're going to ask Austin some questions,
so
and you get to know him.
Get to know me and everything.
Yes.
So that'll be really fun.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye.